good for you.
These days, Eunice Chan's paperwork could fill multiple plastic bags. All this, legal documents in a civil case against Peggy Chan. She claims her friend of nearly 2 decades took out 2 mortgages on her home, totaling more than $1.1 million without her knowledge. Then, allegedly took off with the money.
It's a surprise. It's a thought. And I know, I was cheated by someone.
Eunice is not alone. Tina Lee, who we first spoke with in January, claims Peggy Chan took out 2 mortgages on her home as well, allegedly forging her signature without her knowledge. The women both filed complaints with York Regional Police, complaints that have now led to criminal charges. Last month, Peggy Chan was charged with multiple fraud-related offenses. Investigators accuse her of targeting victims with limited English and misrepresenting documents they were asked to sign.
It makes me feel better, but it is still a long journey.
That journey, fighting to keep her home. One of the private lenders is looking to collect on an $850,000 mortgage.
There's nothing built into the criminal justice system that requires people to get that money back.
This fraud expert says criminal charges are rare, but even with charges and convictions, alleged victims must still fight for their lost money through civil cases.
The legal system in general asks the victim essentially to take on that burden.
CBC Toronto spoke to Peggy Chan's lawyer last month after the criminal charges were laid. He said they intend to fight the allegations in court. Her first appearance is scheduled for later this month.
Private investigator Brian King has been looking into Peggy Chan's alleged actions for nearly a year. He's been hired by insurance companies for either the homeowners or lenders.
This is a very serious matter, and it's affected a lot of people and industry-wide, because it's made different regulatory bodies step back and say, okay, what happened here and how can we avoid this happening in the future?
For some of the alleged victims, they say the damage is done. Shirley Jailan He says she had to sell off her house to pay off the 2 mortgages. Her title insurance couldn't help, and she could no longer afford the court fight. She's now renting a home in a basement apartment.
I sold my house. Because the pressure is too huge.
As for Eunice Chan, she's fighting back in civil court, now awaiting a judge's decision on whether one of the mortgages is valid. It's expected any day, and she could lose her home.
To me, in my age, it is irreversible. I cannot buy another house. Even though I'm worked so hard in my age.
Farah Morali, CBC News, Toronto.